Most people think AI credit repair is the great equalizer. Everyone gets the same tool, everyone gets the same disputes, everyone gets the same results. That sounds democratic, but it's completely wrong. And I can prove it with an analogy that'll make this crystal clear. But first, let me give you the version that'll probably get me canceled. Imagine you have a severe peanut allergy, life-threatening, which would result you going into anaphylactic shock if you eat peanuts. Now, imagine having a severe, let's call it a penis allergy. So if you eat peanuts, you die. If you encounter, well, you get the idea. Now, the solution for both of us is pretty straightforward, right? You avoid peanuts, and I avoid the other thing. But here's the question. Do we need the same level of medical intervention? No, because one of the allergies is way easier to avoid than the other. Your peanut allergy, you need a EpiPen, medical supervision, because it's life or death. My condition, I just don't do that thing. Problem solved. Same word, allergy. Completely different severity, completely different intervention required. And that's how credit repair works. The same tool, dispute letter, completely different execution, completely different outcomes, completely different levels of expertise required. Probably, and I know what you're thinking, Andre, the penis allergy analogy is a lot. Fair enough. Basketball. Let me give you one that Black viewers can relate to. Basketball. Now, all Black people know how to play basketball, right? Kidding. But you see where I'm going with this? Let me ask you a real question here. What's the difference between you holding a basketball and Michael Jordan holding a basketball? Same ball, same leather, same air pressure, same orange color, same tool. But when Michael Jordan holds that ball, something different happens. Not because the ball has changed, because Michael Jordan spent 20 years mastering every single thing you could do with that ball. Footwork, timing, court awareness, reading defenses, knowing when to shoot, when to pass, when to drive, and when to pull back. The ball is just a tool. The expertise is what makes the difference. And that's exactly what AI credit repair misses. Everyone using AI dispute tools has access to the same tool, the templates, the same automation, the same letters. But if everyone's using the same tool, there's no human intervention. Then everyone's on the same level playing field, which means everyone's getting the same mediocre results. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking, but Andre, why are you using a basketball analogy? When's the last time we saw a Black person play piano in a symphony then? That's pretty much a white people thing, right? Wrong. Well, let me show you something. Stevie Wonder, one of the greatest musicians ever lived, playing piano at a level most classically trained pianists will never reach. And he's blind. So yeah, Black people can play piano too in a symphony. And when they do it at the highest possible level because they're Black. But here's my point. Whether we're talking about basketball, piano, or credit repair, the tool doesn't make the expert. The tool is just a starting point. So let's talk about what happens when everyone uses the same tool, but no one has the expertise to use it correctly. Here's what credit repair AI companies sell you. Our proprietary AI analyzes your credit report, identifies errors, and generates custom disputes tailored to your specific situation. Just like this tailored bespoke suit, right? Because you wouldn't find this mass-produced in a factory, would you? Absolutely not. And you wouldn't find any of your custom-made template letters being shared or distributed to other members of Dispute Beast, would you? No, because AI doesn't have a 58% hallucination rate because Stanford doesn't know what they're talking about, and court mandates requiring lawyers that use AI aren't mandating lawyers to disclose that they're using AI, no different than Sora or any AI that's found on YouTube is required to disclose that it's AI. And guess what? This video is. It's AI, right? Yeah, this is totally AI. Some of my commenters are just fucking retarded. So yeah, it sounds amazing, right? Except here's what that actually means in practice. AI scans your report for common patterns, late payments, collections, charge-offs, public records. Then it pulls from a template library database of pre-written dispute language and fills your specific account details. That's basically what Lexington Law did for many years, and that's probably why they got sued, because they suck. Instead of hiring a bunch of incompetent employees from India, Philippines, no disrespect, they're just not competent people or Americans. Now you have a fucking machine doing all the work, and all those people lost their jobs. So the owners of that company don't have to pay the employees. They just have to have the AI do all the bullshit work and soak up all the money. No different than Lexington Law did for many, many years. That's not custom. That's mail merge. And here's the problem. Credit bureaus aren't stupid. Is that a shock to you? They've been dealing with dispute letters for decades, They know what template language look like. They know what template language looks like. They know what automation patterns look like. And they have their own AI systems designed to detect and flag automated disputes. TransUnion's eOscar system has specific codes, like code XB, meaning repetitive dispute patterns, like code XB, repetitive dispute pattern detected, or code FR, frivolous request, code AI, suspected automated disputes. Just let that sink in a little bit. So once your file gets flagged with one of those codes, every future dispute you submit gets heightened scrutiny. You're not getting personalized service, don't be fooled. You're getting algorithmic rejection. And here's the tragic irony. Are you ready? The very thing AI credit repair companies promise, which is speed, efficiency, and scale, is exactly what gets your file flagged as suspicious. Because when everyone's using the same tool, and that tool is designed for speed, scale, the credit bureaus just build detection systems for that tool. It's an arms race. And I'm not talking about these arms right here. Except you don't even know you're in the race. Bet you didn't know that. Why I'm telling you. The bureaus are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on AI detection, specifically because automated disputes are becoming a problem for them. So you're not outsmarting the system with AI. You're walking straight into a trap the system was designed to catch. And so dumbasses that use AI as a buzzword like Nam Nguyen, which his last name is the same last name as me, but he's a fake, so he hides it and he writes it W-I-N or however the fuck, like he's Steve Wynn, like from the Encore or the Wynn Hotel in Vegas. Be real, man. Come on. You're not white. Anyway, this video is for black people, right? Let me get back to the basketball analogy just for a second. If I handed you a basketball right now and said, go play like Michael Jordan, sweetheart, make it happen, what would happen? You'd dribble, you'd shoot, you might make even a few baskets, but you wouldn't play like Michael Jordan because you suck. You'll never be like him because having the ball doesn't give you 20 years of practice. Thousands of hours studying game film, muscle memory from taking 500 shots a day for 2 decades, the ability to read defense in real time and adjust mid-play. The ball is necessary, but the ball is not sufficient enough for you to win. Now applying that same logic to credit repair. AI gives you the ball, the dispute, the template, the automation, but AI doesn't give you 13 years of experience working on hundreds of files a year, or tens of thousands like me. The ability to read a credit report and immediately identify which disputes will work and which will backfire. The knowledge of when not to dispute something, because silence is more strategic than noise. Just as it is the silence between the notes that create the music. You don't play jazz, do you? The understanding of FCRA case law, bureau investigation procedures, and furniture response patterns is something they're unbeknownst to. AI gives you the tool, expertise gives you the outcome. And the gap between those two things is everything. Now let me explain why this matters more in credit repair than in almost any other domain. Because credit repair isn't just a skill you're learning, it's an adversarial system. The credit bureaus are not neutral. They're not sitting here waiting for you to submit the perfect dispute so they can help you fix your credit. Doesn't work like that. Don't be naive. They're financially incentivized to verify information as quickly as possible and move on. They have algorithms designed to detect patterns that look like professional credit repair or automation. And every action you take teaches the system something that affects how they treat your future disputes. So when you use an AI tool that generates disputes, you're not just learning a process, you're entering an adversarial negotiation with a system that's actively trying to minimize the amount of work they have to do. So here's the part most people don't understand until it's too late. If you submit 5 disputes in 30 days, and they all have similar language, and they all follow a predictable pattern, the system flags you. Now, if you dispute the same account multiple times with slightly different wording, the system still flags you. If your dispute looks like they came from a template library, the system flags you. And once you're flagged, recovery is exponentially harder because now you're not just fixing the original errors on your report, you're also unflagging your file, which can take 12 to 18 months of perfect manual dispute behavior. Let me ask you, do you know how to create the perfect disputes? If you did, why are you using Dispute Beast? Come on. And if you know it all, why the fuck are you calling me after this video trying to convince me that you know what to do? I just don't have the fucking time. Yeah, sounds real smart, right? That's what I mean when I say templates fail in adversarial systems. It's not because the dispute letter is wrong, it's because your approach is wrong. You're using a tool designed for scale and a system designed to punish scale. Does that make any sense here? Let me take you back to Stevie Wonder for a second. What makes Stevie Wonder one of the greatest musicians of all time isn't that he can play piano. It's that he understands music at a level most people will never reach. Similar to Beethoven, because he wasn't blind, but he was deaf. But he had a physical ailment that heightened his sixth sense for music, similarly to Stevie Wonder. So he can hear a song once and play it back perfectly. He can compose it in his head, just like Beethoven memorized all the keys from his ears. He was deaf. That's insane, right? Stevie Wonder could feel the rhythm and the harmony, the emotion, and translate that into sound. The piano is just an instrument, but his brain made the music. And that's exactly the distinction I'm trying to make here. AI is the instrument, human expertise makes the strategy work. So when I work on a file, I'm not just running it through an algorithm and spitting out disputes like a chicken running around with his head cut off. I'm reading the report like a detective reads a crime scene. I'm looking for inconsistencies. I'm looking for procedural violations. I'm looking for patterns that suggest furnishers didn't verify properly or the bureau didn't investigate correctly. And I'm also looking for nuance that AI is not trained to do. And then I'm making strategic decisions based on those inputs. Which accounts do I let age off naturally? Which disputes do I escalate to the CFPB? Which ones do I hold back for potential litigation leverage? Those decisions can't be automated yet because they require understanding the downstream consequences of every single action. And AI doesn't understand consequence, just understands patterns. That's the difference between playing notes and making music. If you want to talk about your specific situation, go to pinnaclecreditrepair.com and book a free consultation with me. I warn you, I don't work with just anyone. I'm selective about the cases I take. But if you're serious about fixing your credit the right way, let's talk.